Hi there, welcome to Amy's Book Nook. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I thought I would recommend a recent novel. It's called Love and Other Thought Experiments by Sophie Ward. It's a little bit hard to describe, so I'm going to just read this blurb. Inspired by some of the best known thought experiments in philosophy, particularly philosophy of the mind, Love and Other Thought Experiments is a story of love lost and found across the universe. Rachel and Eliza are hoping to have a baby. The couple spend many happy evenings together planning for their future, until one night Rachel wakes up thinking that an ant has crawled into her eye. So the premise is this relationship. One person thinks that she gets an ant in her eye, and each chapter is organized by sort of a philosophical principle. And it's really freaking good. I really loved it. It's kind of hard to pair with something else. I think, you often hear everything being compared to Sally Rooney right now, but I would say that sort of the character arc development and relationship can echo a lot of what Sally Rooney is doing. But for me, it's the experimental nature of the writing that is the most compelling. And so I thought I would sort of do a few comparisons of what I think, so if you like X, you might be interested in Love and Other Thought Experiments. So the first book that Love and Other Thought Experiments reminded me of was actually Angela Carter's The Infernal Desire Machines of Dr. Hoffman. Angela Carter's this was one of the hardest ones for me to read of her, because you're following one character, Desiro, but it's very much questioning the nature of reality. And Carter uses a lot of Hobbes and Rousseau and other Western philosophers to really exploit what's possible in fiction, to my mind. And so that's so if you liked the sort of playful thought narrative of Infernal Desire Machines of Dr. Hoffman, I think you will be interested in Sophie Ward's book. If you're particularly interested in Angela Carter's use of philosophers such as Rousseau, you might want to read Heidi Yeandle-King. She has a book that came out with Palgrave about a year or so ago called Angela Carter and Western Philosophy. I heard her speak at a conference and she was absolutely fantastic. I want to just call her up and ask her all about philosophy as I'm reading Angela Carter's work. So I definitely recommend that book if that's somewhere you want to sort of deep dive. Another experimental piece that I thought might be an interesting pairing with Sophie Ward's book is Tom McCarthy's Remainder. Remainder has been made into a film. It was Tom McCarthy's first novel. I think it came out in 2005. His more recent book, Satin Island, came out in 2015, and that was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. He came up with something, I have to read this bit. He created what's called the International Necronautical Society. So he's really interested in life and death and the sort of crevices between them, the folds, moments where these things are blurred. And we get that a bit in this novel, Remainder. The protagonist, all we know is that he has somehow survived an accident by a corporation. I think something like a piece of plane fell from the sky or something like that. And he gets this huge windfall of money to stay silent. But what he does is he tries to recreate moments of the past. So there's a lot to do with memory and reality and the nature of reality, again, in this novel. So that is something I would sort of pair together on that experimental level. Another book I thought of was Ted Chiang, and his short story, Stories of Your Life and Others, was turned into the film Arrival with Amy Adams, and obviously they republished the book with a different title and the sort of poster for the movie. But it's a fascinating read, and again asks questions about how we know the nature of time and memory and reality. And so I think those are a really interesting cluster of books to put together. So if you're someone who really enjoys Ted Chiang, specifically his playfulness and his sort of forays into what science fiction can mean culturally and socially, then I would recommend Sophie Ward's Love and Other Thought Experiments. So that's my recommendation for today. I hope you enjoy. I haven't had a lot of dialogue partners for Sophie Ward's novel, so if you read it, let me know. I will definitely want to hear what you have to say about it. So yeah, leave any recommendations that you may have in the comments, and I will be in touch soon. Have a great day. Thanks.